Hey guys, Jeff Kamke with Wealth Energetics. I want to share with you a little bit about my financial journey, some of the things that I've done wrong, some of the things I did right, some of the things I wish I would have known 15 years ago, and give you some insights on how you can apply some of my lessons to your life and hopefully accelerate the process so you don't have to go through all the struggles and trials that you might without this information. So my beginnings are really that of being an entrepreneur. I started mowing lawns at the age of 12 and 13. My grandpa was a third generation farmer, so he had always worked for himself. My dad did some, W-2 type work, but then also was self-employed. He's been a self-employed insurance agent for a long time, 20 years or so. So I've grown up with that mentality, that mindset, do it yourself. You can do it better. I want to control my own clock and my schedule and have, basically uncapped potential on my earnings, right? Uh, Depending on the situation. I get with farming, you're not going to be this billionaire, but you get my point, I think. So really what it comes down to is, for me, I grew up being exposed to that mindset, and I was able to make a lot of money when I was younger. When I worked at home, I had a lawn care business, did landscaping, really built that up nicely, had many employees, bought a business a couple years out of high school, $250,000 business I bought when I was 20, 22 years old. And so I've had a lot of success and a lot of experience in that realm. And during those early years, I was able to have some luxuries, brand new trucks and the jet skis, and really enjoyed money in that way while being responsible with it. But I was doing all that without a wealth education. I didn't know what to do with money. I knew how to make it. I knew how to trade my time for money, but there was nothing beyond that. And so that is something that, even deep down, I knew I needed to do something different than just that. There was something more out there around money and how to maximize the money that was flowing through my hands, how to do with it differently than what the middle class is always told to do, where it's stocks and bonds and mutual funds and 401ks and, you know, emergency funds and the whole bit. Like there had to be a different way of going about money. And I was convinced of that. It was like a deep knowingness that I had, that I was on this search and this quest to find out better answers around money. And it's funny how life kind of throws certain things at you. I had actually decided to sell my lawn business years ago. And at the time, I had just been exposed to personal development and law of attraction. So I thought I could do whatever I wanted to in my life. And little did I know I was giving up my cash flow by selling that business. I didn't know the difference between cash flow and having a lump sum of money, and that the cash flow is the lifeblood of a business or of just your well-being, right? If you don't have money coming in from a source, whether that's interest income, W-2 income, whatever it is, that is going to have a suffering effect in your life. And I didn't realize that. So it was a big lesson I had to learn, was it doesn't matter that I sold some assets and I have this lump sum of money. If I don't know what to do with that lump sum of money, to keep it, to multiply it, to protect it, I'm at a disadvantage. And guess what? I blew through that pile of money, even though I thought I had arrived. I thought I was super wealthy because I had this cash flow. And the new business I was getting into, I was just going to like start right off and be super successful and make six figures and all this kind of nonsense as I look back at it now. But it was what I thought at the time it's the best I could do. And I realized that I, had this vision still of being wealthy and having money and enjoying money like I had done up until that point. But I didn't have a structure. I didn't have a system to apply, whether it was a cash flow from business or these lump sums. I didn't know what to do after that point. But I knew, really deep down and intuitively that there was something out there that would be able to be the construct and the education and the framework around what to do with my money to do what I felt energetically was possible to do. And so fast forward a few years, I had struggled without my lawn business to generate cash flow and start a new business where I was doing holistic health. I was doing bioenergetic work. So I had really gotten into that as I'd had some health challenges years before. Watched some of my other YouTube videos on my journey to learn about some of that and how that might help you in your journey if you're looking for abundance in other areas besides just money in your life. But going through the struggles of not much cash flow and struggling a little bit and not having the direction and feeling like you're a failure in a new business, and it wasn't coming natural, it wasn't coming easy. I had to really apply myself. I got freaked out. And when my wife and I got married, I still wasn't really producing at the level that I knew I was capable of. And I ended up having to return back to the lawn and landscape world and in 2017 just to be able to provide for my young family because I didn't have an alternative solution. And it was from the move that we made. We had the auto accident back in 2013, right after my wife and I were married, that set us up for a lot of financial issues. And we got an insurance settlement about a year later. And again, just like my lawn care business, I had this lump sum of money. It looked like a big number on paper. It had been some of the bigger numbers I'd ever seen in a bank account at any given time, but I didn't know what to do with it. And again, the money was blown. So it's like there's two big mistakes that I made in my life financially, as I had two big lump sums of money that could have catapulted my net worth, could have catapulted my cash flow. I just didn't know what to do with that type of money. And I didn't resonate with put it into a Roth fund or a mutual fund or stocks. None of that stuff resonated with me. Just like I had this deep knowingness that there was better financial answers out there, like what the wealthy are doing different than the middle class. I also intuitively just knew that the traditional things just weren't in alignment with me for whatever reason. I couldn't articulate, I couldn't make a bulleted list of what were those things that didn't add up, but I knew something was off. Just energetically, something didn't line up with a lot of those methods. And so as I moved forward and had started getting back into cash flow, sure enough, you ever know the saying that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear? Well, that was me. That was me in 2018. My accountant at the time said, "Hey, I've got this financial conference I want you to check out, this seminar, this workshop." And it's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was March of 2018. I remember it. I met my mentors that weekend, and the message that they spoke of how the wealthy do things differently than the middle class, and how you put money to work, and how you protect money, and how you can grow money and multiply money. It was like, there it is. That's the message that I knew was available. That's the difference. I knew it. And there was just this alignment energetically of what I had been searching for. And finally the answer, the solution had landed for me. It had arrived, it showed up. And therefore I could start implementing that totally different framework around finances and wealth, and how we put money to work, and how the wealthy store their capital inside of cash value life insurance and the benefits of that, and how you can seek other places to invest outside of just the traditional things in real estate and different hedge funds. And there's so many things available at a different level of wealth consciousness than just middle class money mindset. That's really the distinguishing way that I describe it. It's wealth consciousness versus middle class money mindset. It's a different way of being. It's a different way of thinking and talking about money and what you do with your money. And those are the things that I began to learn. But even as I learned this new framework, this system that I felt like was definitely out there and I had to find it, and I finally found it, it still took me many, many years to learn that system and implement that system to where I had a whole life insurance policy that I could store capital in. And it was a game changer because it allowed me to put, I think, over a quarter of my annual income put to work for me for my future to create a tax-free income stream in retirement, all while being able to help us pay off debt quicker, have an emergency fund, have capital when we needed it. And it didn't solve all of our problems, but it put us on a path that really changed me energetically, knowing there's light at the end of the tunnel. We don't have all this debt from the accident several years before that I'm just feeling at a loss about. I now know what to do. I may not be able to implement every single step as early as I would like, but the roadmap is there, and I can start working towards step 2 and step 3 and step 4 to be able to change dramatically the here and now financially, but also preparing for and living more abundantly in the future because of the same exact strategy. And that is some of the most amazing things that I've ever learned of what to do differently about money and being able to put money to work. So, even as I record this at the beginning of 2024, am I perfect around money? Do I have all the millions flowing in? No, I am still a work in progress. I still am working on identifying the ways that I have about money that are no longer serving me currently or serving the person that I am going to become, and doing the energetic work to reprogram the mind and release a lot of these interferences, as we call them. And I've got other videos that go into the energetics around wealth and what to do when you find yourself in certain situations or feeling stuck or not able to move forward or having emotions that are seeming to block you. What do you do with those? There's going to be content on this channel. Check those out. I'll probably put links with this video when they're available as well. But those are the things that I'm still in a work in progress, and I'm still going to be making money mistakes, and I'm still learning how to save better and create a bigger emergency, or what we like to call an opportunity fund. Those are still things that I'm working on, right? I'm working towards a second and third insurance policy, as more places to store capital, making sure that my family has the death benefit. If God forbid something were to happen to me, that I know they're taken care of for life, not just because of the death benefit, but because we know what to do with that death benefit and how to put that money to work can be a game changer. So I have the big checkbox of my family's protected. My kids are protected. I know that their future is not in jeopardy. And I know that, my wife won't have to go get 2 jobs to replace my income or be burdened with that. I know that part is taken care of, and that is a game changer. So I know that that is in place, and I don't have to worry about that being a financial mistake that I would potentially have in the future, right? So this is just about the journey that we go on, and learning information and changing who you are at a core level to become the person you can become. And it doesn't matter where you're at on that journey, as long as you're on that journey. And if you're not on that journey, I encourage you to find the resources to help you get on this journey of finding what's inside of you, what's your soul purpose, being able to live that day to day more and more in a fulfilling way, where you're touching more people in the way that God designed you to do, so you can go out in the world and make a big impact in those specific ways, because it's so important to really the survival of the planet, I think. I mean, that may be like a really far out there comment and statement, but I really believe that if we are all working on ourselves and improving ourselves, it's going to help everybody around us, and we can make a positive change in this world just by us focusing on ourselves and becoming a better version of ourselves. And having the financial tools and education and systems in place can help you do that. And so those are going to help me eliminate in my family, and hopefully will help you eliminate in your family, some of the potential mistakes that are on your current course if you don't course correct and find the true path for you to be on. Not that there's anything wrong with the path you're on, because there's lessons on every path, but it will help you get more clarity on where you want to go, and just be that better version of yourself, so that you can make that impact like I talked about. And the money piece is there just for the tool to help you better accomplish your purpose. But if God's blessed you with a certain amount of money, you have a moral and ethical obligation to do the best, most efficient things with that money, put it into a system that is going to allow it to multiply, to be safe and protected, and to go to work for you and your purpose. That's really what we want to be able to share on this channel, a little bit about all those pieces that go into that. And so that's what I want to share with you guys today, just a little bit about my journey, some of my mistakes, and some of my journey financially, and being expanded mentally, having energetically the consciousness around money expanded, so that you can see different things. You meet different people at a whole nother level and see what's possible for you. It helps raise your belief level, helps raise you energetically, helps raise your vibration, as you sometimes hear from some of the gurus on what is taking place at an energetic level when you're around a different group of people that are doing things at a higher level than you. They're making more money, they're more happy, they're more healthy. It helps you come along on that journey yourself. And that's just a powerful thing that we want to provide content here on this channel. The podcast interviews, the training, the support, all those types of things to help you be the better version of yourself, for abundance, and then also for wealth, because we want you to live an enriched life financially, to be able to help go serve more people. Because when you're free, you can then have what I love, I think it's Dr. Lisa Nichols is her name, talks about drink from my saucer, not from my cup. So you need to be filled first, and then as you're overflowing, you can feed that to other people and help raise them up in the way that you're called to do. So if you have any comments, please list them below this video. Subscribe to this channel. If you like the content, please share this content if you found it valuable on social media, any other platforms you find relevant. Maybe pick a couple friends that you think need to hear this message and need to hear the experience that I've had, to maybe encourage them, to inspire them, to help them along in their journey. So with that, have a great day, guys, and we'll talk to y'all real soon. Take care.